today what we're going to be doing, it's Ethan again by the way, and with me is Ryan, our DO, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at what you can expect to experience if you come to one of our demos. So if you give us a call and schedule in a demonstration of one of our current glasses, Ryan is going to be showing me what it's like to be in a demo, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of see what the user can see through these glasses as well. I think that's correct, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're going to go through some modes. We're going to go through some of the things that some of our patients use them for. We're going to go through what we would typically expect in a demonstration, how quickly it will take to sort of get used to what it feels like when you're wearing the glasses, what it might feel like to wear the glasses, and we'll maybe answer some of the questions that you may have, or maybe even you didn't even know you had until we sort of go through them.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the bottom. Apparently there is a delay, but I don't think that should affect too much. Probably any delay, any lag will only really affect when we are able to see your message, but in terms of everything else. But I do want to say, if there is any delay, we're trying to sync up many different sources, because we'll be syncing these glasses up into the stream as well, so that you get to see what basically I will be seeing. So yeah, hopefully that goes well. Maybe we should start then. I think we've been around. Yeah, I think we're good to start. We can start going through it.
Yeah, excellent. So what we'd normally typically see in a demonstration is, first off, we would like to just get to know a little bit about you, a little bit about what you would be expecting to sort of get from the glasses. If you could achieve something, is there one particular thing you really would like to be able to achieve? And then we would go and do some of the medical things. So we'd go through nothing too strenuous, just a matter of checking a bit of your clarity, checking what you can see without the glasses and with your prescription glasses, and then it'd be a matter of trying the glasses on. So we'll skip past that interim, that part, first part, and we'll go straight to trying the glasses on. So Ethan will try the glasses on here, and he's going to tell you a little bit about how they feel, and also what it feels like with the controller in his hand, and what kind of things he's initially getting from the glasses when he first puts them on. So,
because that's quite interesting that you ask about what people expect to have. Like, what do people normally say when you ask them like what they expect to be able to do with the glasses?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is a lot of people they don't know what to expect, because sometimes their expectations are sort of put back, and they've never seen something like this, so it's hard to know what they should be able to expect. But a lot of the time people will say things like, I really want to be able to see my kids playing, or I want to see my grandkids graduate, I want to see my best friend's wedding. You know, those real impact, emotional connections where people have lost that little bit of ambiance between social occasions seems to be the biggest one. Or the most simpler tasks, you know, the things that we take for granted, like picking colours when we're doing the washing, or finding the right cleaning products, or picking the right outfit, or all those kind of things that people just take for granted are the biggest things people sort of say is what they want to get from the glasses. And I believe, especially with a lot of the users we have, a lot of those things can be ticked off with these glasses, which you'll see in a moment actually when we sort of go through some of the modes that we have.
Right, so I should put them on?
Yes, please. Yeah, pop them on. Normally I would pop them on for Ethan, but he's a dab hand at putting them on now.
There we go. Yes, let me switch on. Oh, can I do this through here? What I'm going to do real quick is see if I can switch on the streaming. So we got that. There we go. And there you are. You guys should be able to see what I am seeing as well. So
yeah, so in the bottom right hand side of your screen you'll be able to see what Ethan's taking in. Now, initially Ethan, when you're looking at me, what's the image like when you're looking?
Yeah, I mean, it is. Let me just get this fit nice. I think it's not in my ear. There we go. Yeah, no, it looks good. It's really clear for one. I can. I mean, I don't have a visual impairment, but for me, it's definitely like super clear. Scrolling around, there's no delay. Like it's pretty much instant that I can see, and yeah, no, it looks good. You look good. You look good on camera.
Thank you, thank you. What you will notice is I do look a little bit further away. Now the reason for that is we are taking 68 degrees of field of view and we are pointing into a small area of the eye. And basically when you do that, you have to push the image back. So that's why things look a little bit further away. One of the first things a lot of the time people will say to me is, feels like I'm looking at TV screens, which is essentially not wrong. You know, you are looking at screens and the image you're looking at is different, so the brain has to process these things a little bit. So it normally takes about 5 to 10 minutes before the brain starts to accept the image it's looking at, and it feels a little bit more what we call normal as such. But it does subside quite quickly. So if we start going through some of the things that the actual device can do. So this mode, if you have a little scan around at the chairs around you, Ethan. Just we are at a meeting table here, so this give you a really good idea. One of the things this is really good for, especially if you do if you are still in employment and you're in an employment where you have to do meetings or presentations, it's good because this pair of glasses will allow you to see more people in the room. You won't lose as much as that social connection when you're being asked a question, or if somebody is turning their head and asking someone else a question, you won't be answering their question for them. So this is one of the things it's really good for. Normal mode is also really good for things like if you want to watch cinema, or you want to go and watch TV, or you want to go to a social occasion. For instance, I was talking about weddings, birthdays, kids' presentations, when you're going to see the kids play, normal mode will do most of that. It's really good for that kind of thing. And if you're able to show Ethan the light booster, so the contrast element, if you're able to just turn the contrast up and down, just so the viewer sort of can.
It is this button on the side, right?
That's it. Yeah.
This one.
So we've got the button on the side where you've got this. That's it.
So holding it.
That's it.
And then turning the doorknob. There we go.
That's it.
Is it noticeable on the screen?
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like super noticeable. Like this is way too bright. Ryan looks great, but the background is completely washed. So turn it back down a bit.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and then there we go.
Perfect. So that's one of the things that Ethan's highlighted here is really good, because one thing you'll notice, especially if you're going into a bar or restaurant where there's that mood lighting, you can give yourself a little bit of a light boost. But in the same respect, you want to do those things that you are doing already, in the sense that put yourself with a light behind you. So that if you've got a window, you want to sit with your back to the window, so that you're looking at people with natural light being presented onto them. You get the best image that way. If you're looking at someone with a window behind them, then you'll also see a little bit of that highlighter that we saw when we turned the brightness up a moment ago. So again, really good for if you're going into that mood lighting that a lot of places seem to have these days. We will go through some of the other modes, which are highlight things like eating food and things like that. So if we click onto the next mode, so the next mode will just put a highlight around things. So you notice now that it's put an outline around my chair, outline around the whiteboard sort of to my left, and it's even highlighting my tie. Now this mode is really good if you are in an area where the contrast is quite poor. For example, if you're able to just lower your chin just down for me, just to the table, just to the here, you'll see the skirting boards have been highlighted, the bottom of the chair's been highlighted. So if you are in a say if you have to go to an area where you've not been before, or somewhere that's unfamiliar, you can look with the outline and you can make sure that you're not going to trip over objects. You can put the glasses around your neck and navigate to where you need to go to, because you know where the chair legs are, you know where things are in that room. Just make life a little bit easier in an unfamiliar environment. So that's one good thing about just this normal mode. Now if we go into the next mode, this is going to be called Edges mode. You'll see in the bottom corner it tells us, in the left hand corner it tells us the mode we're in, the zoom we're in, and it tells you the battery life we're in. Now Edges mode, if you are in pretty low lighting, and normal mode is struggling because the lighting is so low. You put edges mode on and it will give you an image, it will give you an object. So for instance, you can still see my face, you can sort of see if I'm smiling or if I'm frowning, those kind of things. But the most important thing about this is you can notice where objects are. So we said about the other mode a moment ago, if you can't do it in that mode because the contrast is difficult, you can turn it to this mode where contrast isn't so much of an issue because it's already put in the contrast there for you with a black with a white highlight around it. So really good for that kind of thing. If we go to the next one, which is contrast, and then we'll go to contrast inverted. So these two modes are very similar, it's just changing the contrast in which the contrast is being done. And then if you just turn the contrast for me, and then that's it, you'll sort of see it coming in and out of focus. So this way, good for if you want to read something and you like a particular, if you like it in a particular like black on white or white on black, you can choose your mode in this. It's good if you want to see toilet signs or if you want to see exit signs, anything where you want to know where things are. You don't have to keep asking people where everything is. We go to the next mode as well for us, if that's okay. So this is text. We go to the next one as well, then this will be text inverted, so it will do the same again. And again, we are just picking out text here. So if I go closer with it, you'll see that the smaller writing can come into focus a little bit more. And if I turn it to the back of the menu that I've got here, and I bring it quite close to the actual thing here, you'll see that you can see chicken burger, you can see the price of the chicken burger. I won't go here for a meal, but yeah, it gives you a really good idea about those kind of things it can give you. It can give you, if you're in a restaurant, you can see a menu and just things that people take for granted. If we go on now, because the only thing about text is it does make, other than text, a bit pixelated.
I mean, you look like a piece of art, to be honest.
Yeah, it does look.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, but the good thing about it is if you've got an image in the background and writing over the front, the idea is that it pixelates the image and puts the writing clear. That's what it's there for. So you can probably use normal mode and contrast modes to get through most things, but there'll be an occasion where this could come in really handy. And I know that I've been told many times, some people like white on black, some people like black on white, and it's about putting that environment in your hands so you can choose what you want to use it for. And what we'll go on to the next mode now is going to be super colour. And if we take it to super colour edges,
this one.
Perfect. Right, so super colour and super colour edges, it's gonna enhance those colours around us. So you'll see here, if we just bring this one over here, you'll see the top of the blue of this bottle here, which is a detergent. You've got things like the bowl here, which is like a bright yellow. You've got the red bowl here. If I tilt it up a little bit and bring it a little bit closer, you'll sort of see there's sort of different colours. There's a white dice in there. You might even be able to make out what the dice is if you zoom in a little bit.
I mean, it's 5 and 6. I can see that, but like,
you give it a little bit of zoom.
That's it. Here we go. Oh, perfect. Right there.
You really just make life a little bit easy for yourself.
Wow.
So that's one of the elements to this. And again, it's about separation. We were talking about colours and choosing shirts and doing your washing, those kind of things. This is brilliant for that. You can go in your wardrobe, you can have a little look, you can see that there's that it's giving you a red colour for maybe a burgundy, and then it's giving you the blue colour for the navy. So you know that, okay, that must be my navy shirt, that must be my burgundy shirt. There might be the same shirt, but you can get the separation of colour so that you know if you've got some navy trousers on, you can put your navy top on and you're not going out in mismatched colours. So it's just to add those little elements to it and just make life a little bit easier in certain circumstances, so that just make sure it gives you a bit more independence and not have to rely on other things, or I know that there'll be certain things that you use anyway to get through it, but trying to just make it involved in one device for you as much as possible. So we'll go to normal mode if that's okay now.
Yep. There we are.
In normal mode, one thing that is really good for normal mode, I'll just hold up these playing cards for us here. So if you are playing cards, you can make life a little bit easier for yourself. If you've got a stack of maybe 5-6 cards in your hand, you can see all 5-6 cards and know which cards you're going to play depending on the game you're playing, and just make life a bit easier so you can be involved in those games that kids like to be involved in, or your friends want to be involved in, or if you've got poker night with your mates, you can go and do it and not feel like you might be missing the hand that you wanted. So it's just great. It's just great just to put, again, little things that just make life a little bit more enjoyable, just makes it so that you can do things that maybe you've lost the enjoyment a little bit for. So, yeah.
And what I have to say is like really nice is that in every mode that you go into pretty much, you can always adjust with this button here, you can always adjust the contrast.
Yeah, you can always adjust the contrast unless you're in supercolour or supercolour edges. That's the only mode you can't adjust the contrast in. But every other mode, yeah, you can adjust it.
Yeah, anything you can always look, you can always fine tune. And the fine tuning is so, I mean, it's exactly what it is. It's not kind of one step, the next step, and then following that. It's literally you control it to the exact degree that you want, and then you let go of this button, and it'll stay there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's super handy. I mean, honestly.
I think as well, it depends on, because it depends on the environment you're in. It will depend on how much fine tuning you need. Because if you're in a very low lighting situation and you're using edges mode, you might want as much, what we call sort of the brightest setting as possible, so that you've got little specks around things. You'll notice if you're in edges, you'll see like little tiny specks, and you can make it more interference or less interference depending on what you want to do. Now, if you're in a very low lighting, you probably want it more. You want it so that you've got a defined edge around things. One thing I get asked about is steps. You know, in low lighting, steps are really tricky. If you've got a defined edge to your step and it's not carpeted, edges mode works fantastically well. So again, it just makes it so that you don't feel socially awkward tripping up a step when you've got edges mode to sort of show you where that is. And again, you can find your mode, find what you want to do, pop it around your neck, and off you go again. So yeah, with the accessories we sort of include in the device, it gives you that freedom to be able to use.
And so do you find that most people use the normal mode the most, or
normal mode is generally what people use the most, because you can pretty much use it in most environments. And one thing it's really good for is scenery. If you're going on holiday, for example, and you want to absorb the architecture or the scenery or the beach that you're on, those kind of things, you can put these on, take in that 68-degree field of view. Generally speaking, people who we sort of have with these kind of glasses, our patients will go from sort of seeing maybe out to shoulders, so about this distance away, and then they go to seeing what you're seeing now. It's quite a vast improvement. You know, people are going from maybe 5, 10, 15 degrees field of view, and they're getting 68 degrees field of view. That looks bizarre. It's so zoomed in on my face.
No, as in like, so what you're saying is like maybe they can only see like this much, like literally this much.
Yeah.
And then with this, it's basically giving them like
exactly that.
All that basically.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
And if you've got, generally speaking, people who have good clarity, if they have very reduced field of view but they have good clarity, then they can get the maximum out of the glasses. If somebody's got very poor clarity, so if they've got a visual acuity that is very tricky to see things in great detail, then what you were doing a moment ago with zooming in, although they're probably not getting any increase in field of view, the actual magnification of what they're looking at makes life a little bit easier to negotiate or have a conversation with somebody. Because one of the things you can do with this, if you pop the front off for me, Ethan, if that's all right, the magnet.
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
There we go.
Again, you can have a conversation with somebody and it looks like you're looking at their eyes, so you can see them, they can see you. Although they're looking at the screens to see you, it looks like they're looking directly at you, so you can have a conversation and still feel involved in what's going on, rather than looking at the shade. Because I know some people will say, it's great having a conversation with somebody, but I don't want to feel like I'm wearing sunglasses, which you don't, because that's the beauty of it. It gives you the option to be able to see someone's eyes. So it gives us those options. Have we got any questions coming in so far?
Yeah, we probably do actually. Let me take these off for a bit. We can put it like that, I guess. Have it aimed. Oh, you can see some people in the background. So we got a question. I think people are asking, how are you qualified to carry out the demo? Ryan, can you talk about your qualifications? I think that's what people want to know.
Yeah, of course. So I'm a dispensing optician, so you'll see me if you wanted to have a little look. You can have a look on the GOC website, and you'll see that I'm a registered dispensing optician. Got my qualifications through Bradford College, so you'll see that I've got that foundation degree in the clinical aspects of being able to go through this medical device and correctly give advice on what it can and what its limitations are. So it's all about being realistic and also being empathetic, because at the end of the day, sometimes it's difficult when you've gone from very little vision and all of a sudden you're starting to see a lot more. It's about having time and allowing people to absorb exactly what's going on. And we get both sides. Sometimes people come and they try them on and they get huge benefits, and then we get patients that try them on, and because their vision has got to a certain point now, they don't get much benefit. So it's being able to sort of manage those expectations and be able to understand exactly what we kind of need to do from that point. The best thing about being where we are and having a dispensing optician like myself is that even if we don't have the product that might benefit that patient, we should have a general knowledge on something that should be able to help that patient, whether it be audio technology, a magnifier, or getting them in touch with the right charity or the right organisation. We've got that level of expertise, so it's nice to be able to have that other layer to the surface.
Yeah, I think that's one of the great work that we do, especially when we work with charities and stuff. So I've been privy to some, been able to attend some demonstrations, and there's been cases when our product has not been the best for them for one reason or another, but we're able to say, look, we understand that our glasses might not be perfect for you, but here we've got some people at the RNIB or Macula or whatever charity that we're working with. We can kind of make that connection, introduce them, and then see if they can find help that way, right?
Exactly, it's making that first step. Sometimes with this, they might come to look at a product, say like for instance the RNIB in London. It might be the first time they've ever gone to the RNIB in London because maybe they're not sure if they should be at the RNIB in London. And then once they've made that initial contact, we can then hand over to someone who is an expert in their field at the RNRB, and before you know it, they've got help in mobility, or they've got help with a service that they didn't know, or a meeting group that they didn't know about. All these other elements that sort of help just with just most general tasks or mental health.
Yeah. So Lynn has said she's watching with her husband, and they are waiting for our new central vision loss glasses to come out. Now, I know for a fact that Ryan is heavily involved in the central vision loss glasses. Is there any little sneak peeks, any kind of little updates you might be able to kind of tease out a little bit? Can I tease any bit?
We are heavily into the testing phases now, which means that we are hoping to have the product released May, June time, and we should hopefully have something for you guys to maybe try and demo maybe late April or early May. Obviously you've got to watch this space. You don't know, obviously a lot of things rely on whether we can get into the office at this current time to be able to work on said device, but the way we're looking and the way that things are going, I'm really, really positive about what the glasses look like, what they're doing for patients that are testing them. The results we're getting from these very early stages have been quite positive. I can't really tell you much more than watch this space really.
But it sounds exciting.
Very exciting, yeah.
Okay, very exciting. That's. I mean, do we still have enough people? We're not looking for more testers or anything.
At the moment, we've got enough people testing the device now. Yeah, we've got lots of people helping us sort of get past this stage of testing. But if you do want to try and demo the device, maybe late April, please get in touch. Get in touch and leave a consent form, and we can get straight to you and let you know when the device is here and organise something for you in your area. because that's exactly what we want to do. We want to make it so that we can get to you, show you the device as soon as it comes out, and you guys can be the first ones to really be able to see what you can do. Sorry, forgive the pun.
No problem. And what have we got? So Samuel's Opticians, they're saying there. So if you're in the Midlands as well, you can Ryan is our guy for the Midlands, but also we have like Samuel's Opticians who do have our glasses there as well. So then definitely get in touch with them. Us.
Yeah, Samuel's is our clinical partner in Birmingham. So we've got Samuel's. We've also got other clinical partners around the UK, which we also advertise on our website. So if you're unsure if we've got a clinical partner in that area, you can look. But even if we haven't got a clinical partner in that area, we'll do our very best to get to you in a local charity. Because if you've got a local charity that's for visual impairment, then generally speaking, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get there. I'm 99.9% sure that we've worked with pretty much all the charities now that are in visual impairment in the UK. So we should have some form of partnership, and if we haven't, then we want to engage with them. We want to make partnerships with them. So if you do have a local charity and you want to know if we're involved with them, again, get in touch with us, because even if you don't think these glasses are going to help you, being engaged with that charity may help someone else who's also looking for something like this. So please just let us know if you're unsure.
So we have a question from Daniel. I understand that you have an accessory of a camera that works with the glasses. Are there any further accessories? Yeah, can you talk about the accessories that we have that either come with or you can get like working with these glasses, I guess?
Yeah, so we do currently have an external camera, which basically wirelessly syncs to the glasses. This allows you to use it for things. The zoom capability of the external camera is of a much higher standard. So if you need it to say if you've got a TV that's quite a distance away from where you sit, you might not want to use these glasses because having to zoom in so much might lose the quality of what you're looking at. So then you can sync your external camera up, set it at a specific distance, zoom into that certain element, and watch TV, and then you can flick between that and the glasses and have a conversation with someone. You can use the external camera for all sorts. You can use it for reading, you can use it for looking at artwork or pictures of family. So if you want to remember what it was on that specific date, you've got loads of pictures that you want to sort of go through, you can sort of use the external camera. A lot of these things, like I say, do work depending on the individual, so not everybody will get all the benefits of every mode and everything that's there, but there are certain elements that this can provide. We are also trying to work on things like TV streaming with a box. We're also trying to work on things like laptop streaming. These are all things that we want to be able to get working with the glasses. So there's still a lot of things that we are striving to do with this particular pair of glasses, never mind the new pair that we are looking to get for central vision loss that are coming out. So we're still working with our research and development team a lot in making this as accessible and usable as possible. We've also got things like different cases that come with the glasses. So you've got a hard case that you can use in case you want to put it in a handbag or a satchel. We've actually got its own satchel case. Now, generally speaking, when I'm out and about on the road, I use the satchel case mainly because I can fit all my accessories in there, my external camera, my glasses in there, the handsets in there. I can even fit my phone in there if I want to. It just makes life a bit easier to be able to have everything in one sort of area. We've got things like sports bands to make them fit a bit more comfortable behind the head. We've got nose bridges to make them more fitted across the nose. With the device itself, we can glaze prescriptions in there, we can make them magnetic, or we can screw them in. There are so many elements to it that we can sort of do. That sort of we've just gone through and made it as easy to use and nice and comfortable as possible.
Yeah, it's very much kind of just customized to your taste, really.
Definitely, yeah.
Any aspect that it's all kind of modular, and we can kind of adjust different areas to make it fit better, basically.
Yeah.
So just to reiterate, if you want to get in touch and register for our central vision loss classes when they come out, our number is below, and it's you literally just call us on 01865 580 255 and talk to our team. We'll get you scheduled in as soon as possible, basically.
Yeah, perfect, yes.
And we have a question. Sam is asking that, he says he's 16 and he has Stargardt's, and he's asking, will our next pair of glasses help him?
Well, in theory, yes. I can't say for sure, Sam, because at this moment in time, we can't really release too much information about our conditions that can help or it cannot help. But what I can tell you is we are doing testing, and our testing would suggest that it may help people with Stargardt's. Some of the testing that we're doing is really positive, and some of our test subjects also have Stargardt's. So that's as much as I can tell you, but yeah, it's really positive, and definitely keep in touch with us or let us know, and we'll get in touch with you and let you know when the demos are here.
Cool. There's a Dave from Cheltenham. This all sounds great, but what if I want to get the glasses but my condition gets worse? What happens then? So Dave sounds to be like he's worried. He's like thinking at the demo, it's all great. He wears the glasses, he feels amazing. But then after he gets them, maybe a year, 2 years down the line, his vision gets worse. What happens then?
Well, we recently rolled out a new way of going about purchasing the device. So before you could only purchase the device outright, and that would be through funding or it would be through your own personal finances. Now we have rolled out a new option where you can do a rental option. So you pay £600 up front and then £80 per month, and you don't even have a maximum or minimum term. You can hand them back whenever you want. So if you get two years down the line, Dave, and you want to hand them back, you just hand them back. And there's no additional costs or anything like that. So that's the beauty of that element to us as well.
So you're saying that like 3 months down the line, if he finds that it's worse, he can hand them back as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
5 years down the line, you can hand them back. Okay. Yeah. That's brilliant. Actually, yeah. That offers the flexibility. Are we expecting? Is that just with these, or do we know if?
As far as I'm aware, at the moment, it's just with these. With the new device, we don't really know because we don't really know what the price point is on the pair of glasses yet because it's not released. So I can only really speak about this particular device at the moment.
Cool. Well, Dave says that's great to hear. Seems like you guys have thought of everything. Well, I mean, we definitely haven't thought of everything, but we do try and cover as much as possible because we understand that, like with any of these kind of new devices, it's always like so many questions and so much like unknown that we want to kind of be at a point where we understand everything there is to know, basically, so that we can kind of anticipate any kind of problems.
Yeah, exactly. When we're out on the road and if you come and see us and you interact with us, you'll see quite quickly that we want to be able to help as much as possible. We want to be there for people as much as we possibly can, and we want to be involved in sort of helping you in your journey. So it's just a matter of trying to make life as sort of easy as possibly can at the moment.
And I hear, I don't know if we're ready to. Are we able to say this? But I hear that you're going to be doing some talks and stuff in the near future.
Yeah.
Something like, because I think we're at a point where we're not just all about the patients, and we're about the whole community. I think that's what we want to establish, right?
Yeah.
And so I think Ryan is going to be going on a few talks and stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing some presentations for professionals. So if you're an ophthalmologist, optician, optometrist, just basically we're going to be at Optra Fair, we're going to be at View Conference. We also are always trying to attend as many events as possible. So if you are a patient and you want to know a little bit more about the glasses, contact your local charity and see if we are attending their event. And you'll probably have myself or one of my colleagues will be there either presenting or will be there showing the product. So yeah, we're always trying to be out on the road and getting the voice heard as much as possible, raising awareness not just for the patient's aspect but also on the professional element as well. So we try to make opticians in their environment more aware of low vision, just to make things a little bit more available for everybody really, and a little bit more awareness and education. Education is always the best thing.
Yeah, give them like options, as long as there are options available. We have a Phil who said that I've tried several different forms of tech out there. So what separates us from like others, I guess, is what he's trying to ask.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the customer service is one of the biggest things with us. We supply the lifetime of the glasses, you have just got to pick up the phone and speak to us, and we can help you with any element of that. A lot of the time, it's the education thing, not being shown exactly what the potential of a device is quite big. Also, with our device, we are trying, this particular device is tailored for people with central vision. A lot of devices out there are tailored around just magnification, making things larger. We've tried to take it a little bit different, in a different avenue, and we're trying to make it so that we're using people's available vision and trying to enhance that. Also, a lot of tech out there is quite big, quite heavy. We've tried to make it as sleek and light as possible, just to make it as usable and as user-friendly as possible. So I suppose that's what separates us from others. You know, having that dispensing optician, being able to see you and assess you and suitability of a product, and being able to give you that after service of, even if you don't benefit or if you do benefit, this is sort of the after service, regardless of sort of what financial element is taken. We do, you know, it's free. You can come and have a demonstration with us, which is absolutely free. The only time you ever part with money is if you were to buy a device, and any advice is given is part of the service, really. I think that's key to what we do.
Yeah, I think definitely if we talk about just in terms of the product, we're talking about functionality, form factor, they're all like, you know, top of the line at the moment. And then we go so much further. I mean, last time on the live chat we had Hayley here, our customer care team, and it's just like customer care is such a big part of what we do, and it's
key.
Yeah, it's definitely what we're all really passionate about as well.
Yeah.
Sandra, thank you for sending in the question, says, I have an optician's appointment next week. Can I speak to them about you, and where can I get information from?
So, all opticians now should have some information about us. If they don't have information about us, then obviously they can obviously go and research us. Will be easy to access. But yeah, go and speak to your optician. I always say, you know, go and speak to the professional you trust, and then if they need information about us, then we can go and visit them and we can tell them about us. It's all about spreading the word and making sure they're aware of what's available for you, because that's what's important. It's about making sure that you know what is going to be able to help you in your vision impairment that you have. So yeah, I invite it. Speak to as many professionals as you possibly can, and get the word out there, and hopefully we can interact with them and find out ways of making things easy for you, because the more professionals that get involved with us, the more information they can give us, which means we can, like I said, we're a research and development team, so it's about making things better and as usable as possible.
Yeah, I think it's not about us like trying to kind of harass opticians or anything like that. It's that we just want people to know that we are an option out there, basically, right?
Yeah.
It's not something that, like, it's nothing to do with being really pushy. It's like, we're an option, and to be honest, you can try this option without any real cost at all. So yeah, why not? Cool. So hopefully that answers your question. Oh, a Katie from the US of A. She knows what we're doing. She saw the review that Katie from RP Truths did. She says, I know you guys are not in the States yet. Can I come see you, please? I know you guys are not in the States yet. Can I come see you, please? So I guess, can she come over? Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's an option, definitely. You can see us depends if you're going to London airport or wherever you're staying, but we can see you. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. If you contact us, we can make arrangements for a demonstration wherever it's going to be convenient for you or wherever you can stay. At the moment, like you say, we aren't in the USA. Where, you know, that's not to say that we won't ever be in the USA, but at the moment we're just not. But yeah, come and see us. Pick up the phone or email us or whatever's easy for you, and we'll make the necessary arrangements that we can.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that is one thing that we're working hard on. You can find us right now. We're in, like, you know, China, India, the UK.
Yeah.
I think we've got in Holland maybe as well. It's like Europe is definitely reachable, and then USA it's definitely somewhere we want to be.
Yeah.
We've also got a device, I think, right now in the Australia as well. So definitely, Quantum have got a OXSIGHT device there. So if you're down under and you want to try them out, definitely get in touch with them as well, or get in touch with us and we can kind of put you in contact with them to try on our glasses in Australia. But yeah, always want to try and reach out for more and more people. Yeah. So any more questions? Yeah, I can see that. Samuel's Opticians is saying, like, yeah, going back to the kind of the camera, the external camera. Yeah, it is. It's wireless and it's basically a much more powerful camera, right?
Yeah.
So
Essentially, I've got one actually to hand. I think if we've got, I'll just get it for you. So essentially, this is what the camera is. It's a Sony camera. Basically, it has a much better zoom function. You can connect it wirelessly, so you don't have to have any wires attached to the handset. We've got things like tripods that they can sit on. We've got grips that they can go in, so that you can use it in a specific area in the house if you want to read in a specific place, or if you do want to just set it up in front of your television, so you want it for a specific task, you can do that. We've got people who want set it up so that they can look at their bird table outside, so they can do bird watching if they want to. There's certainly areas that this can fit into people's sort of daily routines that just make things a little bit more enjoyable.
John is saying that he's got 3 members of his family have RP. Do we do any family discounts at all?
Yeah, you can refer a family, or you can refer a friend, or you can obviously refer a family member, and you get, I believe, is it £500, the family friends discount?
I'm not entirely sure. I think we definitely have to double check that.
Yeah.
But there is a scheme on, I think, right?
Yeah. There's a refer a friend or family, and then you get a discount. I'll have to confirm what the discount is. I'm not sure at the moment, but I believe it's somewhere in that region.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. It's not just. It's not just like family. For anyone that you feel will basically be able to take advantage and benefit. Let's have a look. Cool, so we're probably gonna wrap up soon. I think if we have any more questions, like maybe 10 more minutes, a few more questions, and then I think Ryan's got a busy day as well. I think he's got anything planned for the rest of the week. What are you going to be up to?
I've got plenty more testing in London tomorrow.
London?
The London Eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I think it's mainly focusing on testing pretty much for most of the week, really.
And when you say testing, you mean for the new central vision loss glasses?
That's right.
So that's exciting. That's exactly why Ryan is the man who knows a lot about the new glasses. But he's done well. He's kept his lips tightly sealed in terms of the actual developments. But we do know that there is something to look forward to, and it is exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
Let's have a look. Yeah, no more questions. But yeah, definitely. Where will you be testing tomorrow? Is there a set location?
Testing will be at the RNRB in London tomorrow, and then it'll be Leicester, Nottingham, Derby, Kendal.
Oh, okay.
Sort of getting around the UK as much as possible. We've got a lot of patients that will sort of agree to partake in the testing phases.
And is it possible for them to kind of, let's say someone just happens to be in the RNIB tomorrow and then sees you there, are they able to get involved or anything?
Well, they can come and say hello, and we can go through some of the options that we have available at this current moment in time, or we can get them registered to partake in maybe having a demonstration in the near future. So yeah, definitely come see me, and we'll get the ball rolling for them.
Yeah, and then if you do want to get involved, make sure to call us on 01865 580 255, It's down at the bottom of the screen there. You could also go on our website, talk to us.
Yeah.
An online form that you can fill in to kind of get into contact with us. Our contact forms go straight to our customer care team. You can even just kind of not really put in any details and just ask for a call back, and we will call you back. Yeah, it's really
We've got
convenient.
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, you can find us on all the socials, right? Like Facebook, where we're on right now, Twitter, Instagram. Give us a contact, and we can try and fit you in, basically. And you might be seeing Ryan, right? Ryan might be
quite
the one
quite
doing
a
the
large
testing.
possibility you might see me. Yeah, got a 1 in 4 chance.
We have a question from Sue, who is saying that she is really skeptical about this technology. There are so many wild claims out there. Will they improve my condition? I guess, what do you say?
It's hard to say really without knowing what the eye condition is, and also knowing a little bit more in depth about clarity and the loss of field of view.
Yeah.
It's hard for us to be able to distinguish from that how much benefit the patient would get. We don't make bold claims. We're there purely to just assess and give you a realistic idea of what we think the possibilities are, what kind of benefit we think it might make. If we don't think it's going to be any benefit, we won't say it will make a benefit. All we want to do is just try and make life as easy as we possibly can for the people that we can sort of help as much as possible. And even if we can't, then we'll try and put you in touch with someone that maybe can. That's just the way that we are. We're very understanding, and we know that not every eye condition is going to benefit from what we can do, but we're trying to help as many people as possible.
Yeah, I think it's all about honesty
Yeah.
and expectation management. Like
Yeah,
we are
definitely.
very honest when it comes to it. Even like if you just call us and maybe you talk about your condition a little bit, Ryan might take a look and he'll just kind of bluntly almost like just say like honestly like I don't know if it's worth you coming in because from the looks of things we haven't had a good track record with people.
We've had both sides really. We've had patients that have contacted us and said, I don't think this is going to benefit me. My eyesight is this and this. I've got field of view out to ears. I've got my clarity is relatively good, and so but I'm not really sure if it's going to benefit me. With a little bit of more knowledge and a little bit more understanding, we're able to say actually with those kind of symptoms, in theory, you should benefit from these glasses. And we've had patients that contacted us and said, I've got. I heard about your glasses, they sound amazing, I think they could change my life. And then unfortunately you have to give them the bad news of saying actually this particular pair of glasses, your clarity is quite low, your field of view may be too reduced, you may be only having light perception, which means that you can only see sort of lights going on and off. Glasses aren't really going to benefit you unfortunately, and they're both. You have the ups and the downs with this job. You get the real positives where people really benefit, which is great. On a Friday, if we've had somebody benefit on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we've finished work, we're all buzzing because we know that we've made a difference. We all are very passionate about what we do. In the same respect, if you've had a patient that's not benefited and you really if heavily invested in sometimes you get really invested in people because they make an impression on you as an individual, then we're only human beings. It's only natural that we're going to get relationships in regards to patients. You get that, you interact with people, and then you find out that the glasses don't benefit them, which is, you can go from being on cloud 9 to drop down to earth quite quickly. So, at the end of the day, we aren't going to make bold claims. We're just here to try and figure out what is going to benefit the patient.
Well said. I mean, thankfully, I don't really, I'm not really there to witness a lot of them, but from, what I see that you guys,
you've been
see what you guys like are dispensing opticians. Sometimes, it can be, quite the highest of highs and the lowest of lows.
You get the right roller coaster some weeks.
Sue says, thanks guys, appreciate that. Someone said to me that this type of technology could make my condition better. Clearly not true. Nice to see people out there like yourselves who are genuinely trying to help. It's especially like this kind of technology, it's not
No.
physically changing your biology to make your eyes
No, exactly.
work better. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
we're just trying to work with what you've got left,
Yeah.
and that's you're absolutely right, Sue. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't believe those people who are attempting to try to convince you that an external machine can actually physically make you better. At least at this point in time, I don't think it's.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what technology will hold for the future, but at this moment in time, the glasses are purely there to try and work with what remaining vision you have left. So, yeah, we certainly won't make bold claims like that.
Yeah. I think that'll be all. I think. Thanks again to Ryan for coming in. Honestly, you guys need to thank him because every time he comes in, he has to make the trip specially just for me to come in to do this, to talk to you guys. And when I'm taking him away from all his testing and his me and doing demos and stuff. So definitely thank you again for coming in, Ryan. I'm sure that everyone out there really appreciates all the kind of the insight that you can give. And I think especially today we got to kind of look through the glasses and. I think it might be the first time that many of you've actually seen what it looks like to see through the glasses, because I think we get asked that quite a lot, but
exactly.
It's not something that we can, we've like really provided previously. So
Ethan certainly likes to take me out of my comfort zone.
Now you're always comfortable, man. This is still in your comfort zone. But yeah, thank you all for joining in. Definitely give us a call, leave us a message. If you've got any more questions, you can always comment. On this video or on our social media, at us, message us, whatever. We will make sure we go through all of them and answer all your questions. And then let us know what you want to see next time.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to go down and get some time with the tech team in London, but they're working hard at the moment. So maybe further down the line, maybe next month I'll go down and have a little chat with one of them. But yeah. So thank you again for joining us. Any last words, Ryan?
No, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.